After Benjamin and I were reborn, we silently agreed to pretend we didn't know each other. He followed the class beauty to a university in another city, while I stayed in our hometown. With the advantage of living an extra lifetime, he rose quickly in his career, became a star in his industry, and married the beauty, enjoying his success. Meanwhile, I stayed with my parents, living comfortably in our old family home. We met again 10 years later at a class reunion. He had Emma, the class beauty, on his arm, smoking a cigar. When he saw me dressed plainly, he mocked me. "Is this what you've become after 10 years? I stayed calm and said nothing until a late-arriving business mogul walked in, wrapped his arm around me, and said, "Sorry, my wife is pregnant." I'd appreciate it if everyone refrained from smoking indoors. For once, the usually composed Benjamin looked visibly shaken. In that moment, he finally understood. After all these years apart, wasn't trying to win him back. I met Benjamin again at a class reunion 10 years later. As I opened the door to the private room, I heard someone teasing inside. "Benjamin, you've really done well for yourself, haven't you? You even married the class beauty, of course. Just look at Benjamin now, big boss in the city. Unlike us, just ordinary folks. How can we compare?" But I remember back then people always said you and Isabella were a thing. You two always studied together. Then I heard Benjamin's familiar voice reply casually, "Just study partners. Nothing more." I smiled. It's been 10 years since we were reborn. There was no reason to feel anything anymore. I calmly pushed the door open. Even after all this time, I recognized Benjamin right away. He was on the sofa, smoking a cigar, with Emma still stunning curled up against him. Classmates crowded around, showering them with praise. The moment I stepped in, everyone turned to look at me. "Well, speak of the devil. Look who's here." The class monitor greeted warmly. Benjamin and I locked eyes. He held Emma closer, looking me over with a hint of scorn. I was simply dressed, no makeup, a little tired after all. I was pregnant. Next to Emma in Chanel and Hermes with flawless makeup, I probably seemed dull. "Long time no see." I greeted them politely. Benjamin nodded, distant. Emma gave me a faint smile. I didn't force any friendliness either. I just joined some familiar classmates to chat. "We're just waiting on Christopher," the class monitor said. "His flight's delayed," he said. "Don't wait for him." We sat down at the table. Everyone toasted Benjamin, lifting him high. After a few drinks, I went to the restroom. On my way back, I bumped into Benjamin. His face was flushed with alcohol. "Is this what you've become in 10 years since you left me?" he sneered. I stayed calm, reminded suddenly of what happened before our rebirth. Before we were reborn, Benjamin and I had a huge fight on the highway. After graduating, I followed him to the big city. We worked hard together for 10 years. When things finally got better, I wanted to go back home. My father had died the year before from a cerebral hemorrhage. He didn't make it to the hospital in time. That left my mother alone, and I couldn't stop worrying. Benjamin had promised that once we earned enough, we'd go back. But now he kept delaying, saying the future wasn't back home. He didn't want to return. He suggested bringing my mother to live with us, but she didn't adapt. When she visited, no friends, no family here, and truthfully, neither did I. "I'll go back by myself if I have to," I finally said. "Why are you forcing me like this?" Benjamin asked. "What's so bad about this city? Do you want to stay a country bumpkin forever? Do you want our child to start life disadvantaged?" I was 5 months pregnant then. That made me want to go back even more. I knew it'd be harder to leave once the baby came. Our hometown wasn't as bleak as he made it sound. "So, to you, everyone who stays in a small city is useless?" "Useless people stay in small cities, muddling along without ambition," Benjamin said coldly. "I despise them. Am I one of those people to you?" I asked. "I don't want you to become one," he said self-righteously. Then, suddenly, if I'd known, I wouldn't have chosen to stay in our hometown for university with you. I wasted 4 years. I should have gone with Emma from the start. Emma had confessed to him in high school, but he'd chosen me. But over the years, he said again and again how he regretted it. When we had that car crash and were reborn on the day of university applications, he didn't hesitate. He went with Emma. I stayed home. We both knew the other had been reborn, but we didn't interfere. I thought we'd never cross paths again. But here he was, waiting for me. Now you see what happens when you stay in your hometown, he mocked. Look at yourself, then look at the others. Who's done well? Even if you regret it, it's too late. I'm marrying Emma. He pulled out a ring big, maybe 5 carats. I could tell. It was a bit smaller than the one I had at home. If you hadn't been so stubborn, this could have been yours. Congratulations to you both, I said, and walked past him. His glare burned into my back. I didn't know what he was upset about. This was the life he wanted. Why did he need me to regret it for him to feel satisfied? I sat back down. My phone rang. Have you landed? I asked. Yes. I'll be there soon. If you're tired, don't come. I can go back alone. How can I let my wife go back alone? I'll be there in 20 minutes, I smiled. Just then, Emma approached with a glass. Long time no see. Let me toast you. I should thank you. Benjamin says without you as his study partner, he wouldn't have gotten into a top school. No need. We helped each other. Still you helped him succeed. I toast to you. She started pouring me beer. I don't drink, I said. Just a little. She ignored me, poured anyway. I reached out to stop her. Ah. She cried as beer spilled on her clothes and bag. She scrambled for napkins. My clothes, my bag, they can't get wet. Everyone looked on nervously. They knew how expensive her outfit was. After wiping up, she turned to me. Even if you're jealous, you shouldn't have done this. Can you afford to replace these? Before I could speak, Benjamin stormed over. Isabella, you've gone too far. I didn't do it on purpose, I said. I hadn't even pushed hard, just tried to stop her from pouring. Just because I mentioned our wedding, you couldn't take it? He mocked, loud enough for everyone. Classmates joined in. I always thought Isabella was calm, not the jealous type. People aren't always what they seem. Maybe deep down she still cares. Isabella probably regrets not going with him to the city. I stayed patient. I didn't mean it. I told Emma I don't drink. She insisted on pouring. Emma smiled sweetly. I hope you can let go of your feelings for Benjamin. I was stunned. What makes you think I still care for him? Did I say something? Or was it my expression? Stop pretending, Emma said. Benjamin's doing so well, you must regret it. I don't regret it, I said clearly. Everyone makes their choices. I'm happy with mine, Benjamin sneered, not believing me. I didn't bother explaining more. This was just a chance meeting. If I'd known Benjamin would be here, I'd have skipped it. It wasn't about holding onto anything. There's just no need to see people from a past life. People from the past should stay there. I'll compensate you for the clothes and bag, I said, not wanting to argue anymore. Send me the price and your bank account details, and I'll transfer the money. Compensate? Benjamin cut in, his tone mocking. Do you even know how much Emma's clothes and bag cost? Her outfit is 150,000 yuans. The bag? 300,000 yuans. And that's not counting the accessories. I'll cut it down for you 450000 yuan total. How are you going to pay for that? I took a deep breath, reminding myself not to let his condescending attitude get to me. The doctor said pregnant women should keep their mood stable. I'm not that petty. If you sincerely apologize to Emma, we can let it go, Benjamin offered, as if being magnanimous. An apology isn't enough, Emma quickly added. You need to promise, in front of all our classmates, that you'll never have any inappropriate thoughts about Benjamin again. I couldn't help it. I laughed. I was so angry, it actually amused me. Looking at Emma's arrogant face, I slowly picked up the half-empty beer bottle next to me. The doctor said I shouldn't get angry, but holding it in felt worse. Deliberately and without rush, I poured the remaining beer all over Emma's clothes and bag. Emma froze in shock, staring at me like she couldn't believe what she'd just seen. Isabella, are you crazy? What are you doing? She finally shrieked. Benjamin immediately yanked Emma behind him, even shoving me in the process. Luckily, the class monitor stepped in, blocking him before he could do anything more. Benjamin, calm down, he urged. Isabella, do you think I'm being too easy on you? Benjamin snarled. How dare you treat Emma like this? Who do you think you are? I don't need you to be lenient, and I don't think I'm anyone special. I'm just me, I said coldly. Then I added, since I've agreed to pay for it, those clothes and that bag are mine now. What I do with them is my business. What's it to you? Can you even afford it? Benjamin shot back. Give me the bank account, I said firmly, enunciating each word. You're really willing to go bankrupt just to spite me? Isabella, if you'd controlled your temper before, we wouldn't be in this mess. Give me the bank account, I repeated, my voice even firmer. Don't regret this, Benjamin warned. Benjamin, stop wasting time with her, Emma said through gritted teeth. If she wants to act so high and mighty, give her the number. And let's see if she can actually pay. Benjamin rattled off the account number. I entered it and tried to transfer the money, but the system said my password was incorrect. I was sure it was right. I tried another password. Still wrong. I pressed my lips together. Maybe pregnancy brain really was making me forgetful. Benjamin and Emma stood there watching, classmates whispering, clearly enjoying the show. Seeing me struggle, Emma smirked. Isabella, weren't you acting all proud just now? Where's the money? Why hasn't Benjamin gotten it yet? I forgot my password, I admitted, worried that another try might lock the account. How convenient, Emma sneered. Benjamin laughed coldly, the classmates murmured. I thought she was actually going to pay. I felt bad for her. Who'd be dumb enough to hand over 450,000 yuans? That's half a house. Benjamin and Emma were ready to let it go, but Isabella just had to stir things up. Now look at her, totally humiliated. Emma's voice went cold. So what now? You gonna write an IOU? How long to pay it off? 1 year, 2, a lifetime? 10 minutes, I said calmly. Christopher should be here by then. Stop pretending, Isabella. You can't pay. You should have just apologized. Now you'll have to get on your knees and beg me, Emma snapped. Everyone was waiting for me to fall apart. But just then, the door swung open. Sorry I'm late, came a familiar voice. Christopher walked in, drawing everyone's attention. Sorry, my flight was delayed, he said with a polite smile. He came straight over to me, noticing the tension. What's going on? It's just a small misunderstanding. The class monitor tried to smooth things over, glancing at Benjamin and Emma. We're all classmates. Let's not make this ugly. Can't you give me a little face? Class monitor, it's not about that. Isabella doesn't know her place, Emma said arrogantly. I wasn't going to make a fuss, but she poured beer on me. I deserve an explanation, is that so? Christopher looked at me with a hint of a smile. Did you pour beer on her? Christopher, I know you liked Isabella back then. I don't want to talk bad about her in front of you, but she's crossed the line. She's jealous because I'm with Benjamin, so she ruined my clothes and bag. You know brands, you can tell how valuable these are, Emma said, trying to make her case. Are you jealous of Emma? Christopher asked, frowning. What do you think? I shot back. There's not much to be jealous of, Christopher said lightly. Emma's face darkened. Don't tell me you still like Isabella after all these years? Yes, I do, Christopher said openly. No hesitation. Everyone was stunned. They had no idea Christopher and I were married. Christopher had pursued me for years. I hesitated, not wanting a repeat of my marriage to Benjamin, safe, but suffocating. But I realized over time that Christopher wasn't Benjamin. I couldn't live in the past forever. Eventually, with my parents urging me on, I agreed. We registered our marriage earlier this year. I found out I was pregnant soon after, so we postponed the wedding. I only came to this reunion because of her, Christopher said, turning to me. So what's happening? I forgot my password. Can you transfer 450,000 yuans to Benjamin's account for me? I asked. Give me the number, Christopher said, pulling out his phone. Emma and Benjamin looked shocked. Christopher, this is between us and Isabella. Don't get involved, Benjamin said. Isabella, this is too much. You ruined my clothes. Now you're making Christopher pay? Just because he likes you? Emma fumed. I want to, Christopher said coolly. If she needs me, I'm happy to help. Emma was speechless. Her plan to humiliate me had backfired. Is this the account number? Christopher confirmed with Benjamin. Benjamin looked at it, face dark, and said nothing. Christopher made the transfer. Benjamin's phone buzzed with the deposit alert. Emma leaned over, stunned. You really paid it? What else did you expect? Christopher said, annoyed. Now that it's settled, can you sit down? Emma clenched her jaw and looked at Benjamin, but he just walked off silently, face stormy. She followed him. Benjamin grabbed a cigar and started smoking again. Christopher frowned. Sorry, Benjamin, but my wife is pregnant. Could you not smoke indoors? Benjamin froze for a second. Emma stared, confused. Your wife? Who's your wife? Isn't it obvious? Christopher said easily, putting his arm around me. We just registered our marriage. The wedding's delayed because Isabella's pregnant. You married Isabella? Emma's voice rose sharply. Is there a problem? Christopher asked calmly. Emma was humiliated. Just minutes ago, she'd mocked me for being poor and jealous. But everyone knew Christopher wasn't just wealthy. He'd been top of the class too. After graduating from university, Christopher started his own business. His success wasn't any less than Benjamin's, maybe he'd even surpassed it. The only difference was that they'd built their careers in different cities, so they hadn't really crossed paths. Still, both of them must have heard of each other's achievements through their circles. That's probably why Emma was so mortified now. The way our classmates looked at her changed too. Suddenly, she seemed like someone who judged others solely by money. Of course, I never meant to flaunt anything by being with Christopher. What I valued in him wasn't his wealth or status or position. It was that we were like-minded. After living another life, I deeply understood how important it is for two people to share the same values. Without that, even the most beautiful love eventually ends up buried in marriage's graveyard. After Christopher announced our relationship, our classmates cheered and toasted us. Christopher protectively said, my wife can't drink alcohol. She can only have milk. Got it. We're not like certain people who use money to push others around, one classmate said pointedly. In an instant, the atmosphere shifted. Emma's face darkened even more. She shot a pitiful look at Benjamin, hoping he'd speak up for her. But Benjamin wasn't even looking at her. His gaze was fixed right on me. I didn't want to engage, but his stare made me uncomfortable. I finally turned and met his eyes. Benjamin's eyes were slightly red, like he was angry. I didn't understand what he was so upset about. Isn't it a good thing that we've all found our own way in life? Christopher noticed too. He chuckled softly. Is Mr. Song unhappy about my marriage to Isabella? Benjamin quickly looked away, crushed out his cigar angrily, and downed his wine without a word. Christopher didn't bother with him after that. He put his arm around me and joined the other classmates. Everyone congratulated us, saying that after so many years, Christopher had finally won me over, that we were a perfect match. The reunion became lively, cheerful, like that earlier unpleasantness had never happened. If anything, Christopher's arrival made the mood even better. All eyes were on us now. Benjamin and Emma, who had been the stars earlier, were suddenly forgotten. They both grew quiet, and before the night even ended, Benjamin stormed out, slamming the door behind him. Emma rushed out after him. What's got him so worked up? A classmate asked. Probably thinks he's better than everyone else just because he's been in the big city a few years, another replied. We were polite, gave him face, and he really thought he was some big shot. I don't envy him at all, someone added. Sure, he's done well in the city, but that doesn't mean he gets to act like we're beneath him. Exactly. Everyone has their own way of living. No one's better than anyone else. They were clearly fed up with Benjamin's attitude. I wasn't surprised. He'd always looked down on small-town folks, convinced we were somehow lesser after the reunion. Christopher and I sat in the car. He'd had a bit to drink and was feeling tipsy. Seems like Benjamin hasn't forgotten about you, he said, sounding just a little jealous. Impossible, I said with certainty. He just can't stand seeing me happy. In his mind, I stayed here, so I was supposed to waste my life and regret everything. He never imagined I'd be content. Christopher said nothing more. He just held me close and whispered, I should thank him for letting you go back then. Back then. It's hard to say who let go of whom. I'd always thought it was mutual. That's why I never resented Benjamin. Honestly, if he hadn't shown up today, I probably wouldn't have thought about him at all. But the next day, Benjamin called me. Isabella, let's meet, he said. No, I refused outright. What's left for us to meet about? I'm at Iceland Cafe, waiting for you. Then he hung up, certain I'd come. He could always predict my actions in the past. In our old arguments, no matter who was right or wrong, things always ended as Benjamin wanted. Otherwise, I wouldn't have spent 10 years of my past life living with him in that other city. And yes, I did go, just as he expected. Maybe I was curious. Maybe I wanted closure. When I walked into the cafe, I caught that flash of victory in his eyes. He still thought I was that easy to sway. I sat down. What do you want? I asked, getting straight to the point. Cappuccino or mocha? He asked, like this was a casual catch-up. Just water. I'm pregnant, I can't have coffee. His face twitched slightly at that, but he said nothing. He ordered the water. I didn't expect you to end up with Christopher, he said after a pause. Didn't you always say you didn't like him? People change, I said coolly. Didn't you reject Emma's confession back then? Now you're with her, that's because. He trailed off. Marriage is something only the people in it can understand, I said. Only. They know if it fits. So what? You're saying our marriage in the last life didn't fit? He snapped. What else? I answered honestly. Why else would we have gone our separate ways? I was just teaching you a lesson, he said, his voice rising. I wanted you to see how wrong your stubbornness was. Once you regretted it and came back to me, we could have fixed it. I stared at him, not laughing, not angry, just tired. Why do you have this sense of superiority? Because everything I did was right, Benjamin said, as if it were obvious. My choices were correct. Look at our classmates, how many who stayed here have really succeeded. Christopher, he only made it because of his family. Without that, he'd be nothing. I built everything with my own hands. I just sipped my water and let him talk. When he noticed my silence, he demanded, why aren't you saying anything? What's the point? If you're always right, what's left for me to say? Don't be sarcastic. Can't you just admit someone else succeeded? Yes, you've done very well, I said honestly. It's not easy to make it in a big city. I never denied that. But just because your path was right for you, doesn't mean other people's paths are wrong. You've helped society, but what about your family? You send them money, but have you thought about what they really want? At a certain age, people care more about. I don't want to hear your lectures, he snapped. That was always Benjamin. No one could change his mind. That's why I knew how crucial it is for two people to share values. After a moment of silence, he spoke again. I'll be direct. Come back with me. I stared at him, sure I'd misheard. Yeah, he sighed. Consider this me making the first move. Come back, and we'll pretend the last 10 years never happened. But you have to get rid of the child. I was speechless. I'd come today thinking he just wanted to gloat. I wanted to tell him I was happy and had no regrets. I never dreamed he'd ask for reconciliation. Too happy to speak? He smirked. Benjamin, are you insane? I burst out. I'm married. I'm pregnant. I have a stable, happy family. You have a fiancé, a life in the big city, and now you're asking this? He looked embarrassed. I know you've been holding a grudge because I wouldn't go back home with you. Fine, I'll fix it. I'll sort out my work and stay near your parents. I stared at him in disbelief. I know this is a lot. I leave the day after tomorrow. Think about it. Let me know before then. No need. I have my answer now. Benjamin blinked. You've already decided? There's nothing to think about, Benjamin. I have my own life now. We've been done for a long time. The moment we were reborn, we each made our choices. I don't need you to sacrifice your big city life or ambitions for me, Isabella. You'd better think carefully before you speak. I'm not going to make this offer again. If that's all you came to say, then there's no point wasting more time. I stood up. Goodbye. Goodbye forever. Panic flickered in Benjamin's eyes as he grabbed my arm. I've come this far, and you're still not satisfied? He demanded angrily. What do you mean, come this far? Do you really think that after 10 years apart, we can just go back to how we were with a single word from you? What makes you think that's possible, Benjamin? So what do you want me to do? He gritted his teeth. I'll do whatever it takes to satisfy you. I don't need anything from you. I just need you to stay away from me, Isabella, enough. With the attitude, let's just say I'm being stubborn. I knew I couldn't make him understand, nor did I care. And I'll keep being stubborn. Don't waste any more time on me, Mr. Song. Isabella, what do you really want? He was on the verge of losing it. Do you want me to get on my knees and beg? Admit that I still love you. That I can't live without you. I looked at him, stunned by how far he was willing to go. His words completely shattered the image I once had of him. Benjamin softened his tone. Let's think of the past 10 years as just a dream. Let's start over. I left back then because I was angry, not because I stopped loving you. How could it have been just a moment of spite? I sneered. You followed the path you wanted, and now that you find it unfulfilling, you want to turn back. His face darkened. When did I say I regret anything? With my success now, why would I need to regret? And my word, Emma would jump at the chance to have my child. How you feel doesn't matter to me anymore, I said calmly. The moment you chose to follow Emma to another city, we had no more connection. Stop pretending, Isabella. You just can't get over that I left you back then. You can't swallow your pride and reconcile with me. But I'm offering you an easy way out now. I did struggle after we were reborn, I admitted quietly. I never expected you to leave so decisively. After all our years together, I thought you'd at least hesitate, but you didn't. I felt like a complete fool. From that moment on, I let go of all my feelings for you, I said, meeting his eyes. If you hadn't suddenly appeared today, I probably wouldn't even remember you, Isabella. I don't care if you believe me or not. Just don't ever appear in my life again. Don't disturb my happy, fulfilling, hopeful life. I shook off his hand and walked away. Without looking back, I thought it was over, that we'd never cross paths again. But half a month later, Benjamin messaged me. Isabella, I'm back. I'm not leaving again. I turned off my phone, pretending it was just a hallucination. But that evening, Benjamin was waiting outside my office, holding a large bouquet. Isabella, didn't I make myself clear? You said I couldn't expect you to come back just because I asked. Well, I've handled everything in the city, and I'm staying here for good. I won't leave again, do you really think that's all it was? That our relationship fell apart just because of where we lived? Otherwise, how could we have drifted apart when we loved each other so much? We drifted apart because we both made choices, because we gave up on each other. I never gave up on you, he said, agitated. I know you're doing well now that Christopher treats you well, but I can give you the same. Everything he can give, I can too. If you know I'm doing well, why are you trying to interfere? Because deep down, you still love me, Benjamin said, convinced. You settled for Christopher because I left. Now that I'm back, you shouldn't fight your real feelings, Benjamin. Love can fade. Love can disappoint. I looked at him. His eyes were red, not expecting my indifference. In our past life, You promised we'd return home. But you never intended to, did you? I was afraid you wouldn't come with me. I loved you too much to lose you, and after we were reborn, you didn't hesitate to leave again with Emma. I thought you'd wait for me. I didn't think you'd actually choose someone else. So because I moved on, you can't accept it. That's why you came back, Isabella. I really do love you. Emma was just a momentary thing. It's always been you. You didn't love Emma, yet you wasted 10 years of her life. You say you love me, yet you want me to submit to you. And now, when it's all slipping away, you regret it. Don't you see how despicable that is? I'm sorry. Can you forgive me? He took out a ring, the same one he'd meant for Emma. I came back to reconcile. I bought this ring for you. At the reunion, Emma was hostile because she knew I planned to ask you to come back. I laughed. So your way of reconciling was to belittle me and wait for me to beg? I was too busy back then. No, you only realize the value of something after losing it. Even if I was wrong, please. One more chance. Marry me. I'll give you everything. He knelt down and proposed, but I shook my head. No chance. I gave up everything for you. That was your choice. And this was never about the city, it was your actions. Again and again, you made me feel cold. I can change. No. Everything you do is calculated. You didn't buy the ring because I wanted it, but to tie me down. You stayed not for me, but because your parents are ill, and Emma wouldn't stay with you. I smiled, because I truly felt nothing anymore. Christopher appeared, quietly standing by my side. Honey, can we go? He asked. I nodded. We left. Without looking back, Benjamin shouted behind us, I stayed because of you, not my parents, not Emma. Even so, I wouldn't get back together with you. When love is gone, it's gone. The happiness before me was all thanks to Christopher. I blocked Benjamin's number. A few months later, I gave birth to our daughter. Christopher and I held a grand wedding, inviting many old classmates, but not Benjamin. At the wedding, I overheard. Benjamin hasn't gone back to the city. He and Emma broke up. His mother just passed away. I saw him at the funeral. He looked lifeless. Later, at home, Christopher handed me an envelope from Benjamin. Inside was a ring, 8,888 yuans, and a letter, Isabella, congratulations on your wedding. I couldn't resist coming to see if you were truly happy. I was so arrogant, thinking you'd wait. I enjoyed freedom at first, no one scolding me, no one waiting for me. But I started to miss you. I thought you should be the one to give in. Until I couldn't take it anymore. I humiliated myself thinking you'd come back. Even now I want to say I stayed for you, not my parents. But it's too late. I saw you after you gave birth. I saw what I missed. I'm sorry, Isabella. I wish you endless happiness. I threw the letter away, not noticing the words on the back. I'll be waiting outside your bridal chamber tonight, waiting for you. Christopher smiled as I tossed it. Honey, the night is young. Time is precious. We turned off the lights, and the long night stretched ahead, never lonely again.